Gemini 2.5 Pro is Google's most powerful AI model to date with thinking built in. Its performance is state-of-the-art across various benchmarks in reasoning, math, STEM, coding, and other areas. It's free at aistudio.google.com or Google's newly launched domain ai.dev. Knowledge cutoff is January 2025, very recent. First, we're going to test the multimodal capabilities with this prompt to extract the prompt shown in this video that was published very recently by Google DeepMind to promote Gemini 2.5 Pro. There's no mention, no audio. There isn't any transcript of the prompt, so we're just going to run it. And we can see that the token count for the context window is over 20,000 tokens. It's a 71-second video. And we can see the prompt that it's extracted to create an animated bubble chart, and it matches what we were looking for. I've seen Gemini 2.5 Pro reason and output its reasoning in varying lengths. But here, this one looks much longer compared to some other ones I've seen previously where it only outputs 3 bullet points. But we can see that it understands the goal, then it starts analyzing the video content, starting with the title slide for the interactive plot demo. It also goes through the chart, what it's able to understand, the bubbles representing countries, color coding, the time slider, hovering over the bubbles for the details as an interactive chart. Then it focuses on the prompt and it starts transcribing the prompt to assemble the full prompt, and then it verifies against the output and finally confirms and formats the output. So there's no need for me to ask what the video is actually about. Now, the next test we're going to run is a similar prompt shown in the video, but this time we're going to ask Gemini 2.5 Pro to create an animated chart using Plotly Express for the most valuable publicly traded companies since 2000. And if we expand the thinking, we can see what's happening. It understands the goal, identifies the key elements, looks at the data, searches for the data, and I didn't even enable grounding with Google search, but it goes ahead to create the code that we need in order to create the plot. I love that it generates comments in the code, so it refines the explanation and code comments for various snippets within the code. Then it provides important notes regarding the data source, the bar chart race, data structure. Here's our actual code, and we're going to copy it. Then it also summarizes what's also included in the code. We're going to jump to Colab, Google Colab, paste our code, and then run it to see what the output is. As you can see, I straight up copied and pasted the code in Google Colab without editing the code. It's produced this interactive chart with these icons at the top for the functionality, like downloading the chart as a PNG, zooming, panning, selecting, auto scaling, and resetting the axes. We can interact with the data points by hovering over them to view more information about each company. There's a legend that indicates the sector that each company belongs to. There's a play and stop button for the animation. You notice that it switches the companies and introduces the new ones that are broken into the ranks. 3 things I would change about this data visualization. I would sort the companies from highest to lowest. So we have the most valuable company at the top of the chart. I would change the font colors so that they're easier to read with the backgrounds, and add a setting to adjust the speed of the playback. This is cool, especially since it's building on Google's recent announcement of their data science agent for Google Colab. You can watch the video on it with the link on the screen or in the description. Gemini 2.5 Pro can also create interactive demos. So here we're going to try this prompt for a driving simulator using Pier 3.js, where you can drive through various terrain and jump off of ramps. We're asking it not to download any assets or textures and make sure that it runs in the browser. It's given us a very basic simulator indicating that it has a simple vehicle in the form of a box, and the graphics are pretty simple, basic physics for acceleration, drag, gravity. Here's the code. We have the instructions that we saw in the bold and how to operate the vehicle. We're scrolling down to grab the code. There are also these limitations and potential improvements. We're going to this code playground, dropping our code in here, and this is what the environment looks like. So if we go forward, wow. Oh, that was a sharp turn right there. Okay, we're going over these hills and we can brake as well. Looks like there are some boundaries for the environment. In my demos, I've never created games or simulators, so this is pretty cool. All right, let's go back to the AI Studio, and this time we're going to ask it to create a landing page for a digital download to generate a slide deck from a dashboard and include animations that you might find on SVG Gator. So it's breaking down the code for HTML, for the styling, the CSS, the JavaScript. It's given us 3 files, an HTML file, CSS file, and a JavaScript file. So it looks like, well, this part, it looks like it's the CSS, and above here is our HTML. So we're copying that, pasting it in the HTML, and then we go back to AI Studio for the CSS, scroll down to the end of the CSS, copy that, paste it in the CSS section for our styling, go back and then copy the JavaScript in the JavaScript section, and this is what it has. Wow. All right, let's increase the canvas size. All right, that looks pretty awesome. For a single shot prompt without chaining prompts together, this looks pretty good. We have call to actions with buttons that are very clear. Of course, there are some styling issues, and the animation was pretty simple, but this is a good starting point. We click on the buttons and it takes us right down to the section to download the actual free guide. The button here doesn't work, but you can work with Gemini. If we keep scrolling up, it lays out the steps of the process, which you'll gain. So the benefits look pretty clear. What use cases interest you the most? What are your favorite examples that have come out of Gemini 2.5 Pro? If you found this useful, like the video and leave a comment. If you want more content on AI, workflow automation, and analytics, subscribe to the channel.